Today at the White House, President Trump's cabinet meeting, and what appeared to be Trump having a little difficulty staying awake, seemingly dozing off during some presentations. The White House says what you're seeing here is actually the president, quote, listening attentively and running the entire 3-hour marathon cabinet meeting, unquote. Now, we should say, if he was falling asleep, maybe he was a bit tired from all that time online last night, where he was retruthing quite a bit between 7:20 p.m. and midnight. 158 posts and reposts, to be exact, ranging from criticisms of Democrats to criticisms of immigrants to conspiracy theories from Alex Jones and more and more. All right. My panel joins me now. Mike Dubke.
Yes.
He did look a little sleepy in that cabinet meeting. I don't know if he was dozing off or what, but...
Or listening intently.
Is that what it look like? Does it look like I'm listening intently?
Yes, it does. And I can keep talking if you want me to. I'll talk right on through this.
Look, he's 79 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not abnormal for a 79-year-old to be sleepy.
I will say this, and this is from my personal experience with the president. He is abnormal in the lack of sleep that he needs. I mean, the fact that when was the last tweet of his 158? Probably something like 2 a.m. in the morning. This guy is awake all the time, and I am not trying to pull this Joe Biden, oh my goodness.
I was just going to say, you sound a lot like Joe Biden's White House staff.
I know, and I'm really not trying to say that. It is, I think the reason that Elon Musk and Donald Trump were such close friends at the beginning is because both of them have supernatural lack of sleep ability. It is crazy. So I'm not really worried. It was a 3-hour marathon press conference, basically, and he's out there all the time.
Yeah.
He conducts, somebody was saying earlier, he conducts all of his activities out in the open, and that's something we haven't seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and that was a lot of what the Biden folks would say, especially when Jake moderated that debate with Joe Biden. A lot of what they were talking about, that famous debate where he could not really say anything that was coherent, was because he had international travel. His family said, you should not be doing this. You should not be doing a debate when you have international travel right before, etc. But at the end of the day, whether it be Joe Biden or Donald Trump, if you're almost 80 years old or 80 years old, it is time to retire. And it is just time. I mean, aging is part of the natural process. It isn't offensive. We all go through it. This is what happens when you're 80 years old. And so he will be the oldest president when he leaves office. Mm-hmm. And I think you're now seeing signs of that, right?
Yeah. The Pentagon held a briefing today, they say, for news outlets, but there was something missing. News outlets, because a majority of the mainstream news outlets, including CNN, not to mention Fox and others, did not agree to the new Pentagon rules laid out by Secretary Hegseth. So this is what we have. Conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer posting she was at the desk of Washington Post reporter Dan Lamothe. So did several other media people, whatever they are. That prompted Lamothe to post this, saying, y'all are going to have to work this one out for yourselves. Mike Dubke, there's expanding the reach of the internet beyond of the media press pool from outlets like the New York Times and the Washington Post to other ones that, might be conservative, like the Free Beacon or whatever. And then there's expanding it to people that really aren't journalists at all.
Well, I think you had so many new voices in the room because so many of the legacy media did not want to play by the rules, including CNN and Fox News, that the Pentagon had laid down. And so, my warning to the Pentagon is really be careful what you wish for, because if you look at the questions that these new voices asked, they were kind of out there. They were not usual questions. No offense to legacy media, but if I'm a spokesperson for the White House, I basically can figure out what the question is that I am going to get.
Because they're based in fact?
Well, because they're
an actual reality?
Or conventional thinking or whatever.
Well, look at this. Loomer took to X or Twitter and she posted, the Secretary of the Army's office is plotting a coup at the Pentagon to remove Pete Hegseth. That's presumably the kind of thing you're talking about. Sochi?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you were advising the President of the United States, you are not part of the media. And that was what Laura Loomer's been doing on national security. She's been advising him. That's why you've seen certain firings happening at the White House. Matt Gaetz was in there. He was the president's pick for attorney general, we may remember, about a year ago. And so that's not what the media is. The reason at the Pentagon and at the Justice Department and at the State Department you have a press corps that understands those agencies is because those agencies are complicated. You want people asking the tough questions to the American people. You don't want some health reporter, which no due respect to a health reporter, but going into the Pentagon asking those types of questions to people of the Pentagon. They understand the precedent at the Pentagon. They understand what the law is. They understand the way the Pentagon works. And so you want people with that knowledge asking the tough questions on behalf of the American people, not people that actually are talking to the president daily and his surrogate.
Let's talk about the Pentagon right now on the subject of the second strike, because what we got today from Secretary Hegseth was the clear message that he did not see the second strike, he did not see any survivors of the first strike, and that it was the admiral who conducted the mission. He did express support for the admiral, but there's been a very clear message since yesterday from Hegseth that whatever happened, I did not actually order that specific action.
So what I've been tracking, rather than these specifics around this, is where and who at the White House and other places have come out in support of Secretary Hegseth. Because I do think on Capitol Hill, this is a very serious matter, so I want to be serious when I address this. On Capitol Hill, I think there's a number of Republicans that are questioning not just this strike, but a lot of actions by this Pentagon where they are not getting timely responses, whether they be Democrats or Republicans, from several elements within the Pentagon. So there have been a lot of questions about Hegseth's leadership, and this is just one of another kind of point for the media and others to point to. But it really is drawing into question, at what point are Republicans going to hold this Pentagon accountable and Hegseth accountable? So this story has changed a little bit. But I think there's a bigger story here.
I agree.
Watching where the administration goes.
Totally.
Its defense.
Well, and there's not only does Congress have a responsibility to do oversight, but if you had a Justice Department that was truly independent, there are statutes in order to prosecute Hegseth if they wanted to. Now, the Inspector General of the Pentagon.
We should note there's no conclusive evidence that he did anything wrong.
There's no conclusive evidence, but the reason I think that you are also seeing him clean things up is because an Inspector General could potentially investigate him and refer him to the Justice Department for charges.
All right, thanks to both of you. Appreciate it. Coming up, the new documentary from rapper 50 Cent. This one is digging into the past of Sean Diddy Combs, even speaking to some of the jurors who helped send Diddy to prison.
Find out who will be Hero of the Year. CNN Heroes, an all-star tribute. Saturday at 8 on CNN. And next day on the CNN app. Brought to you by Humana, proud sponsor of CNN Heroes for 15 years. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
When you have a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, there's no telling where it can take you. That's because with a Medicare Advantage plan, you get more benefits and more coverage than with Original Medicare alone. So, go to the dentist, eye doctor, or get coverage toward hearing aids because all Humana Medicare Advantage plans have dental, vision, and hearing coverage. Or go to the provider you choose with access to our multiple large plan networks of doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies. And go even farther with worldwide coverage for emergency and urgent care when you travel. At Humana, our licensed sales agents will help you enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that takes you where you want to go, with plan options that offer the flexibility to get just what you need. Or choose a plan with built-in savings. Because most Humana plans have a $0 or low monthly plan premium. Plus, get $0 copays on hundreds of prescriptions and $0 copays for in-network preventive services. And unlike Original Medicare, every Humana Medicare Advantage plan is backed by maximum out-of-pocket protection. So your covered medical costs, including doctor visits and emergency care, will never go above a maximum out-of-pocket amount that you know beforehand. With Humana Medicare Advantage plans, you get the benefits of Original Medicare Parts A and B. Plus, all plans also include dental, vision, and hearing. And with a Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan,